Hello and welcome to Learn English with Football World Cup Special, a show in which I talk to my friends and football fans about the World Cup 2022 in Qatar. Stay tuned until the end because that's when I'll be going through some cool vocabulary from this interview. And my guest today is a regular on the channel, Paul. Hi Paul.
Hello,
Welcome
Zanek.
back.
Thank you for having me. Yes, it's
Anytime,
nice.
mate.
Mhm,
Paul from English for Football Fans YouTube channel.
mhm. Yes.
Good to have you back, man.
Yes, good to be here. Sorry, I'm a little bit hungover today. This is my hungover voice. We had a Christmas party yesterday. We have builders in at the moment. There is renovation work in my house, and I went on their Christmas night out with them. So,
Well,
yeah.
your voice will make it even more interesting then. Your new voice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to kick off with this question. Are you happy with how this World Cup has panned out so far?
I think it's been incredible. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's there's been interesting things to it. Everybody was a little bit, what's the word? They weren't looking forward to it so much. It was in the middle of the season, but because it's in Christmas time, because it's winter, everybody's in their house. Everybody, you have to watch it. Like in the summer, you would be out, maybe doing other things, but because it's been nice watching it on TV every night, and yeah, I think it's been a good World Cup.
Mhm. I agree. I'm also pleasantly surprised.
Mhm.
A lot of incredible results, a lot of
Yeah,
teams that you wouldn't expect did really well. Some
yeah.
teams that you would expect to do well didn't do very well, but that's part and parcel of World Cup, I guess. And yeah,
It's
this
been
one has
nice
been.
having all the stadiums in one place. I don't know what it's like there. There's not many European fans there. I think
Yeah.
I get the feeling in the matches. The South
Mm.
American fans, well, there was, and then Arab countries, North African countries. But yeah, they are really well supported. But it must be nice to be in that one place with amongst all the other fans. It seems like there's been no trouble, which
Mm.
is unusual as well. So
Yeah,
I think it's been successful.
yeah. I have to say as well that maybe certain things that we said before the World Cup, maybe they proved us a little bit wrong. Not
Yeah.
everything has been perfect, but I will admit that to some extent they have proven us wrong. That they managed it, and it's been an all right World Cup, if you ask me. Not perfect, but an all right World Cup.
Yeah, it was the political thing, wasn't it, and the human rights thing, which I think. But as a sporting event, I think
Exactly.
it's been very successful. Yeah,
If we think about the football only, if you
hmm
look at that separately, I think they did really well.
yeah, I do.
Mhm.
The
Okay.
stadiums have been unbelievable. The stadiums are so impressive, I think, and they're gonna take some of them apart after it, aren't they? They're not all staying. I think one stadium it might be used in the next World Cup. Somehow they're gonna ship it over to America or Canada, and that's
Ship it over. How do you
Look
ship
how
over a
piece
stadium?
by piece, yeah, piece by piece, they're gonna reuse it in the next World Cup, I hear.
That sounds a bit too futuristic to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Paul, here is the question. What have been the teams that impressed
Mhm.
you the most?
Um, well, obviously, well, it's the final tomorrow, isn't it? Argentina and France, but apart from them, I think every team's had their moments. I think people rise to the occasion. I think even like every team in the tournament has had their moments. I cannot think
Yeah,
of a team who hasn't had a moment where they've been impressive. So even like Costa Rica, they lost
yeah.
7-0 the first match and then they beat Japan and played
I
really well
guess
in the third match.
I guess Qatar lost all their matches.
Qatar,
They must be the
sorry,
worst team of
they are
of
the
the
one,
world.
aren't they? They were not very good. After that first match, they were not very good. Yeah. You
I,
could see there was a big difference
yeah.
in class. I didn't watch any of their other matches actually. I didn't see much of them after that, but um I think
Although,
they're the only team. Belgium possibly as well.
yeah. Although I would say that Qatar, at least they didn't get thrashed or anything. Yeah.
No,
So
no.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's yeah, that's a
it
good
looked.
thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I think I've been impressed by everyone. Morocco have done well. Like every team has done well. England did well. Iran did well. Wales did. I think.
yeah,
Yeah. What team has impressed you the most?
yeah. What team has impressed me the most? Well, I would actually agree with what you said that a lot of
Mhm.
teams have done really well, and in particular, I've been impressed by Argentina, Morocco, the teams that have got got really far. Right, England
Yeah.
have played really well as well. Yeah, it was really close.
Yeah, it
They
was close for
lost.
England. They did well in moments, didn't they?
Yeah,
They played well. They had good, exciting young players.
yeah.
Just didn't. I don't think in that France match, it looked like France were going to score in the first 10, 15 minutes. England had a couple of chances, but it seemed like the goal was coming. And I
Mm,
think that's just England, standard England. We didn't. It was only when we went 1-0 down that England started playing and putting pressure on and pushing players forward. Jordan Henderson and Bellingham were brilliant in the previous match. They were supporting the front three, overlapping, like, yeah, non-stop. But in that first 20 minutes against France, Henderson was deeper than Rice. He
mm,
didn't need to be there. Right, let Rice do that. You just push forward. So we couldn't get it into the strikers. And so it was just France. It looked like France were going to score. I know it was a nice goal and
mm.
they didn't create many chances, but I was thinking England, that France are going to score here. And then we're 1-0 down, chasing the game.
Yeah, it's
And they
always the
played quite well.
yeah.
Got the penalty. They didn't score a goal from open play, but
Mm.
yeah, we're out. Another 4 years of hurt.
Okay, what about the most disappointing teams then?
I just mentioned, well, Qatar. I suppose Germany disappointed, but I thought one of the best matches of the tournament was Germany versus Spain. I think they played well versus Spain. It was a really technical match. Belgium have disappointed.
I
I think
think they
Mark
are the most disappointing team, Belgium, right?
Belgium.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like coming to the end of that generation. They played really well in the last World Cup, didn't they? Um, Hazard hasn't played well for a couple of years, really. And
But
then
it
you have,
really looked like Paul, it really looked like there was some sort of a rift in the dressing room as well. And
yeah.
the things that De Bruyne said, I love De Bruyne. I love the
What
way
has
he
he said?
plays.
What did he
Uh,
say?
what did he say? He said in one of the press conferences, he said that they are too old for this World Cup.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can't say that. Like he undermined
No.
the team. He undermined the morale of the team completely by that. And
Yeah.
everybody started talking. It was like one of the things the media picked up on, and it just wasn't healthy to say that. And
True.
yeah,
I
there
don't
were
think
more problems.
Martinez is a good manager. I think I've said this before.
Mm,
Like when he became the Everton manager, he played some really nice football, and he did that with Belgium. When he became the Belgian manager, he gets teams playing nice football, but they don't
yeah,
seem to progress from there. There's not much spirit within the team, and the Everton fans wanted him to leave. Like they finished fifth one season, then the next season they've the Everton fans were desperate for him to leave just because it was boring. There was just no life in the team, and it
yeah.
looks similar with Belgium, I think.
And then Lukaku in the final game, the chances he had, like
Oh,
four chances to score. That was so
yeah,
symptomatic of the whole situation. Honestly,
yeah, I feel sorry for Lukaku. Like
I
they
do
were,
too. I
yeah.
do too. But I'm gonna say this is gonna be a little bit painful, I guess, for him. But it wasn't out of character
He
to
gets
miss
in the
those chances.
positions. Yeah, there was a couple that he couldn't do much about, but yeah, they just seem to fall for him, and he just seems to mess it up, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's been the story for the past few years, I would say, with him now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. All right. Well, I need to ask you about Brazil because I know you are a big expert on Brazil, and on your YouTube channel, you talk to Brazilian football fans, and I think it was the team you discussed the most there on your channel.
yeah.
So why didn't they make it? What were the main
Oh,
reasons?
it's massive in Brazil, isn't it? That I follow the league, and I talk to Brazilians, and you could feel the excitement. They had songs. saying that they were going to win it for the 6th time, that the players were singing songs saying we're going to win the 6th for you. And
for Pele in hospital now. So there was another
yeah,
like nice story. It would all make sense for them to win it, right?
yeah. And it would have been an amazing semi-final, Brazil versus Argentina. That would have been spectacular, I think.
Yeah.
But they I think I covered it in my channel, but they played well against Croatia. They were not amazing. Croatia had a tough team. They kept it tight. That Brazil had a few chances. Neymar had a few chances. His goal was amazing in extra time. And then they they made substitutions that the Brazilians were not happy about. They brought Fred on. They took Vinny Jr. off.
Yeah.
They made substitutions, but didn't see out the match. They didn't make substitutions like keep it tight. There's a video of Neymar saying like, "Why are we all pushing forward? Why are we all pushing? Everyone get back, get back!" Just before the goal, and the goal happens. It was a counter attack. There's 4 minutes left in extra time. My voice. There's 4 minutes left in extra time, and there's 7 people ahead of the ball when Brazil lose the ball. Casemiro tries to intercept it, misses it, and there's 7 people ahead of the ball in Croatia's half. 4 minutes left of a quarter final. They're winning 1-0 in extra time, and Croatia just broke. It was their first attempt on goal
Yeah.
in the match, and yeah,
What
it was 4v4.
what an equalizer for them, right?
It was unbelievable, yeah. And then and then penalties. Anything can happen in
Yeah,
penalties. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
All right.
So
Well, perhaps another time then.
yeah, yeah. I think there's good players coming through for Brazil.
Hmm.
I think this team is a little bit young. There's a few players like there's no one in Brazil who won't be at the next World Cup. I think Neymar maybe won't,
He-
but
yeah, come
um,
on. He should stay.
yeah, but
He will still be good. He will
yeah, I
still be
think he
good.
still will be. It's just whether he looks after himself, isn't it? He might not have the desire to do it.
He's
Um,
not exactly Wayne Rooney, is he? Come on, he can make it.
yeah. Imagine Wayne Rooney at this World Cup.
Yeah, people would be scared of him just because of his looks. He might
Yeah.
intimidate the opposition.
Yeah, we should have had Rooney at this World Cup. That's what England missed.
Yeah, exactly. That was the X factor.
Just bring Wayne Rooney on. It's like when Ronaldo, the phenomenon, El Fenomeno, the real Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo.
Yeah,
He,
the fat one. Yeah,
yeah, when he played back for Corinthians for a couple of seasons, and he was like Wayne Rooney. Now he was big. He was like similar to how he looks now, and
yeah,
he was brilliant. He was brilliant. He was scoring hat tricks. They got to the final of the Copa
yeah.
Libertadores.
I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah,
Mhm.
remember Ronaldo at the World Cup as well. There was some kind of a story with him
There
being
was a
sick or
documentary recently
something.
about that.
Something really crazy happened there, right?
He had a seizure on the day of the
Oh,
final
seizure. Yeah, yeah,
in his hotel room. So he got rushed to hospital. He almost swallowed his tongue. I think it was just the pressure. It was building up the pressure. And he just collapsed in his hotel room, was in hospital. And he was still in hospital 1 hour before the kickoff. So they didn't name him in the starting lineup. He was on the bench. And then suddenly, like the Brazilian president, people got involved. There's all conspiracy theories that Nike got involved and forced him to play, and then suddenly he's in the starting lineup. Yeah, but he was in
crazy.
he was in hospital 1 hour before the kickoff.
Yeah. It's the
Yeah,
pressure, as you said. I don't think we can imagine what kind of pressure this must be. We
yeah,
all just see the stars, and when they do well, we celebrate them. When they uh, perform
yeah,
poorly, we throw rotten tomatoes on them. So
yeah, yeah.
you know what yeah.
True, and Brazilians get a lot of pressure, don't they? And I think I tried to say it in my show. I think this pressure to perform for the national team that Brazil feels is I think was their downfall, really.
Yeah,
I think
but it's
yeah.
it's it's the same for England, in my opinion. I said it before the World Cup.
Mhm.
I featured on somebody's podcast. They asked me what my opinions. One of my sort of arguments was that I think the reason England will flop. I don't think
Mhm.
they flopped this World Cup, but
Mhm.
I
They
didn't
won't
believe
win
they
it.
would get far
Mhm.
because of the amount of pressure there is on the England team
Mhm.
every single time. And now, especially now that the
Mhm.
fans, it's always like that. Like when the fans sort of have high expectations because your team has been doing really well lately. Yeah? So
Mhm.
you go to the Euros final, and that makes things even harder, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
the weight of expectation, isn't it? And not winning it for so long with England. It's that pressure. But yeah.
exactly. Paul, I've got
Yes.
last two questions for you. It's very simple. Yeah.
Okay.
Who would you like? Who would you like to win in the final?
Who would I like to win? I suppose probably France. I think Argentina have songs talking about the fucking English and things like that. So, and the players are all singing it in the dressing room. Um, but I
They
don't
don't
feel
talk.
that animosity towards Argentina. But it's not just that, I suppose. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was just going to ask that even in Brazil, they don't actually want Argentina to win because there's so much rivalry, right?
I think it's mixed. No, I think it's mixed. I
Oh,
think I think most Brazilians would want Argentina to win.
oh,
Actually, there's
fair
not
enough.
that rivalry. Yes, there's football rivalry, but country rivalry not as much. And um, they wanted to be in South America. They feel like
Yeah,
they represent South America. So
yeah,
I think most Brazilians would support Argentina winning. Not
nice.
all. I don't mind. I think I want it to be a good match. I hope it's a good match. I hope teams, they, yeah, I hope it's a good match. I don't mind who wins. I suppose
Well,
if I had to choose, I'd say France. I prefer.
that's my last question. Who do you think will win? Actually,
Oh, I have Argentina have impressed me in the quarterfinal, in the semi-final. Sorry, they have a good squad. It's not spoken about. It's all about Messi. It's like Messi. This team's all about Messi, but
yeah.
they have great players. They have great players in like two or three great players in every position. I think
Mm.
so. I think who will win? France. France have been clever up to now. They haven't been amazing, but they've been clever. They've scored when they needed to. I think I think Argentina will win.
I heard.
It'll be like a home game for them. I think the fans will inspire them,
Mm.
and just that passion and desire to win will see them through. I think.
I had an interesting opinion that this is a game of emotions on one side versus
Mhm.
pragmatism.
Yeah,
Pragmatic,
France are very
pragmatic
pragmatic.
fans, winning matches, they are not necessarily the better team in,
Hmm.
and Argentina being emotional even losing it even after winning their matches. So it's gonna be quite interesting. I think we can look forward to a really exciting game, and may the better player win.
Yeah, bet the better player. You think Mbappe or
Yes,
Messi, the better team?
team. May the
Yeah,
better team win.
yeah. Like I just hope it's a good match. There's no controversy, and yeah, I hope the best team wins. Yeah.
All right.
Eh,
Thank you very much, Paul.
Okay.
Thank you for featuring in this show. And now stay tuned because I'll be explaining some really really cool vocabulary from this.
Okay.
So thank you, Paul, and take care, mate.
Thanks, Zenek. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Cheers.
Merry
Bye bye.
Christmas.
All right. And in this part of the show, which is called the Language Corner, I'm going to go through some interesting vocabulary that appeared in this show with Paul. So I hope you guys find it useful. Today I've got four, no, six, six items of vocabulary. No idea why I thought it was four. It's definitely six. It's right here in front of me. Right. Sorry, I'm a little bit hungover. This is my hangover voice. What does it mean if you are hungover? Well, it means that you probably had a few pints the previous night and now you feel sick, you feel ill as a result of that. You had too much alcohol last night and you're not feeling very well. It usually happens in the morning after the night. You go to bed, and then the next day you're feeling hungover. By the way, you can also say that you have got a hangover. There is a song which goes like this: I've got a hangover. Hey, yeah. I've been drinking too much. Oh, something like that. My singing is terrible, so I apologize for that. If I have caused you any kind of harm, then I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. Next, now that's part and parcel of the World Cup. That's what I said, and I think I was saying something along the lines of some teams did well and some teams didn't do well, and that's normal because that always happens in every single World Cup. It's kind of a cliche, isn't it? And then I added that's part and parcel of the World Cup, which is another cliche, and it's also a nice binomial phrase. A binomial phrase is a phrase, it's like an idiomatic phrase where you have two words which are linked in some way. Either there is a rhyme, or each of these words starts with the same letter, or there's some kind of a connection in meaning. Part and parcel, we have alliteration there too. Uh, two same sounds, part and parcel. And if something is part and parcel of something, it means that it is a necessary part of that experience and cannot be avoided. So in every World Cup, you've got teams that do well and other teams that don't do so well. So, it's an essential and integral part of something, or an integral component of something. Okay. Just like the language corner is part and parcel of the football show. I have to do this because, first of all, I think it's really useful for you guys. But also, if I didn't do the language corner, then I couldn't call it learn English with football, right? Why would you be learning English? It would just be a show where you're just watching us talk about football. So, because I want you guys to get some language out of it, I want you to see me teach a little bit. That's why we have the language corner, and it's part and parcel of the show. All right. They're going to ship it over to America and Canada. So we were talking about, or Paul was talking about the stadiums, and he said that some stadiums would be reused, apparently. Some stadiums from Qatar would be reused in the next World Cup, which is in 4 years. Yes, that will be interesting, right? If they get shipped over to America, to ship something over to a place means to send something away from somewhere to somewhere else. Okay, so in this case, I assume they're going to transport it on ships or by planes. I don't know how they want to do that. I think it's going to be a little bit hard by plane, so more likely by ships. Okay. Now every team has had their moments. People rise to the occasion. I think that's what Paul said. So if you rise to the occasion, that means that you show that you can deal with a difficult situation successfully. If you rise to the occasion, every team has been impressive in this World Cup, right? And some teams even more. And those teams really rose to the occasion. For example, if you're about to take an exam, and it's, of course, it's a challenge for you, but you rise to the occasion, you show that you can deal with it successfully. You rise to the occasion. A very nice phrase. Okay. And then we were talking about the final, Brazil Croatia. No, sorry, that's not the final. That's the quarterfinal. We were talking about that. And Paul said, I think I covered it on my channel. If you cover something, that's what a presenter would say. That's what a moderator would say. If you cover something, it means you talk about it. So if Paul has already covered this topic, that means he has already talked about it on his channel. So probably he doesn't want to talk about it again, right? So yeah, I think we have covered all, not all, but some interesting teams on this show, on the World Cup special show. At this point, I'm not sure if there's going to be one more after the final, but possibly there might be one more. I don't know yet. But hopefully, I have covered some interesting teams. Let me know in the comments which of the teams do you think I should have covered? Which of the teams you think I should have covered? And it's a real shame that I didn't cover this team. Let me know in the comments. All right, and we've got the last one. They made substitutions, but they didn't see out the match. And I think Paul was talking about Brazil and the reasons why they failed at this World Cup or why they didn't take it further. And he said they made substitutions, but they didn't see out the game. To see out the game, it's a phrasal verb to see something out, to see out the game. It means to protect the lead and win the game. So you can only see something out if you're winning, right? If you're losing, that phrase cannot be used. If it's a draw, you cannot use that. But if you are protecting the lead, if you're in the lead, if you're winning in that game, then sometimes teams, they just sit back, they play deeper, they sometimes park the bus even and try to protect the lead. So that's to see the game out. And if you succeed, we can say that you have seen the game out. Right. Tell me which of the teams in the World Cup is good at seeing games out. Tell me which team is the best at this. And also give me your prediction about the final if you're watching this before the final, indeed. And if you have already seen the final, well, tell me, what did you think about the tournament? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? What did you think about this show? Do you think I did a good job? If so, why not give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel even? Why not? Why not tell your friends? Wouldn't that be great if even your friends had a chance to watch these videos? Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon in one way or another. Thanks. Bye.